Hey, this is Anna from the Faithful Dove. We are doing your blind spot cards. I want to forewarn you that unless you are willing to face things, that this is not a pick a card you should be doing because it's very accurate. When you really think about it, it's very accurate. Was accurate for me, and I had to face some stuff about my situation. It's going to tell you what your blind spot in the situation you are thinking about. The very first thing you want to do is you want to think about the situation you're in that you want. What are you not seeing answered? Um, what am I not seeing about my arguing with my boyfriend? Then you want to take a moment, pause the video, and choose either the Obsidian, the Rose Quartz, the Lapis Lazuli, the Clear Crystal, or the Red Jasper, whichever one resonates with you. Yeah, we got 5 here because I was told by Spirit to pick 5. Then I'm going to go to the book and I'm going to read. There's a book that comes along with this system and it's incredibly accurate. I'm going to read. What you're going to need to do is not only be ready to face the situation and what may be hidden to you, but you're going to need to also be able to discern for yourself what makes most sense that this book is saying for each of these numbers. Okay, we're going to start with the Obsidian, and your blind spot card is number 17. Number 17. Okay, we are back with the Obsidian Stone and the number 17 hidden spot card. Just forewarning, be ready for the blind spot in your situation to accept it. Go and think about it. You're welcome to comment, but if you're upset, try to calm down first. Number 17 is the card of blame. You are blaming others or yourself for circumstances of clearly what you were thinking, saying, and doing to create the situation at hand. Look at yourself honestly. Do you have a reason or excuse about why something went wrong that absolves you from the guilt, responsibility, or fault? Okay, first of all, I would like to say about this card, and what it's saying is it doesn't mean you are to blame if someone is abusing you or treating you wrong. But are you staying with them even though it's a toxic relationship? Are you upset because you're unhappy and you're in a toxic relationship and you're being abused, but you're not leaving for whatever reason? Are you scared? If your life is in danger, please call 911. There are shelters out there. But what part of you is causing you to stay in the situation or believe in a situation that is not making you happy? That is what it's saying. Who are you ultimately blaming, and what are you blaming them for? Yes, you don't, okay, your ex is a complete you know what, he's very toxic, but you have to deal with him for your children, so you keep letting him back in your life, hoping to work things out because you want a whole family. You want the children to have their father or mother. In this situation, are you really thinking about? This is where despair comes into. You know it's his fault, okay? But you are not thinking clearly because in the end, you're staying because you say you want them to have a whole family, but don't you want them to have a whole happy family? So whatever your situation is, why are you staying? You're an adult. Why have you not removed yourself from the situation? And what can you do starting right now, making plans to, maybe you don't have enough money to provide, and you know if you kick your significant other out that he's not going to pay child support, or she's not going to pay child support, that there's going to be issues, that things are going to fly off the handle. So the ultimate reason is blame. The ultimate reason is because they are. Anytime you say because they did, because they are, but what is on your side of it? Okay, because I can't afford. Go to the Area 51, answer those questions. If my significant other treats me bad, if I were to leave them, why would that be bad? And then the next question after you answer that is, what if you did leave them and what you said above was true? Okay, some of you are in totally rotten situations. I get that. But part of facing these problems is facing ourselves. That's why I said in the beginning, don't even start these unless you can face it. And yes, I know how difficult it is. I've been there, done that. Okay? So just think about that. That's what blame means in this situation. You're putting blame on them, and sure, it may be their fault for treating you like you know what. But at the same time, what's your core issue that's causing you to be in this situation upset? Because I can guarantee you, been through this, your children are not going to be any happier in a situation where their mother and their father's not getting along in the same household. Okay? It's hard. We have to face these things. If you're in danger, call 911. But it could be any, I use that as an example. It can be any situation. Okay? Alrighty, next let's go to the rose quartz. We're doing the rose quartz. If you chose the rose quartz, the card number is 64, and it's about altruism. The mask of altruism. Basically, it says you're being asked to see that society has made self-focus and self-interest so bad and wrong that you can no longer see selflessness and self-interest in yourself. Instead, you have disguised it as altruism. We use the mask of altruism in many ways to disguise our own self-centered interests. Helping or rescuing someone or something as a way of externally rescuing yourself. Donating to something, helping out philanthropic efforts in order to see yourself as a good person, and showing off the good person that you are. Helping people in order to get appreciation. Having children and telling yourself that you can give them as much love when in fact you did it in order to be validated as a person by having a mini-me and getting their love. Wow. Okay. This, please don't get offended by this. All this is saying is that taking care of yourself is okay. Taking care of your family is okay. Make sure that you're doing things for the right reasons, okay? Don't let society lead you to thinking like the Subaru commercial. I used to love Subaru. It was my favorite car. And now I'm just very upset with them because every other commercial on TV is them bragging about what they do, okay? First of all, if you're doing it for the goodness of your heart, you're not out there bragging about it. Am I right? Right. Okay, this is just saying that don't listen to what society tells you is right for you, okay? Don't do things that make you feel uncomfortable or look bad because society says, hey, this will get you somewhere. As a matter of fact, anything you do from your heart. Make sure you have the right reasons for doing it. And of course, still help other people. But don't do it to boast about it and say, I did this. Okay. It's not saying that you're a bad person. It's just saying that society, in your situation, you're letting society norms lead your decisions. Your decisions are for you only, they're very personal, and it's okay to go off the society grid to do what's right for yourself. All right, there we go. Next, we are looking at the lapis lazuli. Hello, we're back with the lapis lazuli. If you chose the lapis lazuli, your card is number 57 and it talks about blinding optimism. It means that in this situation, your optimism is blinding you to actually seeing reality. This frequently happens with people in the beginning of relationships because your serotonin levels are high. You feel so good that you're just looking over, you're not stepping back and taking a look, or you're seeing things that might be a red flag, but you're not counting them. Okay. The best thing to do when first meeting people for relationships, friendships, anything, is to have no expectations at all and don't sit there and say, well, they seem like a really nice person. And then our brain automatically starts going to months down the line, or a couple months go by and we're putting them on this pedestal situation, really, and then we find out that they're real. They finally, one month, all the serotonin levels are down and they upset you. Okay, that hits reality, and your expectations of them are no longer met because in your mind you had already placed them in a spot. And think about this, really think about this, where, hey, they seemed really good. It's, in the beginning they seem really good. It feels really good. Everything's really good, and just keep it in reality is what it's saying. It's just saying that there's a situation in your life in which you are looking over red flags and not seeing red flags, or you're creating red flags where there are none through mistrust. Which one are you doing? And please remember, remove the expectations right now. Say, this person is who this person is. This person is going to make mistakes, and just have no expectations whatsoever. Okay, so that when they show you their real self, when the serotonin levels come down and they become who they are in your eyes, you're not disappointing yourself and you're not setting them up to be something that they're not. That's what it's saying. It's saying you need to get the big picture. It's saying you're not seeing things clearly because right now it seems like you're so optimistic about things. You're so happy. Things seem really new. This seems like for someone who's in a really new relationship or friendship or situationship. Anyway, that's what it's saying. And you guys know, I've been told that many readers deliver things in a very blunt, to the point manner, and that I try to deliver things a little easier. I do. I don't believe that those other people are doing it wrong. That's just the way. When we receive messages, when we channel messages, if we have a very firm spirit guide, they come across very firm. And that usually comes into play through our mouths. Also, the perception of the words that are used. For instance, if something says it's at an impasse, you automatically think impasse, not going anywhere, not going to do anything, very negative. Okay, that's not what it always means. It means at that particular time there's something that might be at an impasse that could resolve itself later. But right now you're at a stalemate, okay? So, or you need to redirect the way you think about things and the perception of things, or you just need to give it a break. So many things that it means, so many different spirit guides out there, and some of them like literally are very, very strong, firm, blunt, and to the point. So try not to be so hard on your readers when they come across and they don't give it the smooth delivery that you wanted. Okay? Sometimes your spirit guides don't think you're listening, and they're really needing you to be alerted to something, so they will literally scare you with it. Okay? Just keep that in mind. And the more serious somebody is about something that they say, or the more blunt that they are, that may be more mean it's more serious than you thought. So number 57, try not to get blinded optimism. Try to have no expectations, whatever your situation. And now remove all the expectations. Remember to see them for who they really are. Okay, our next one will be the clear crystal. Now we're doing the clear crystal. This is blind spot number 27, and it talks about being in the bubble. This is famous for Geminis to do. It's basically living from your own perspective and not seeing the picture clearly, because everything, you're only seeing one side of it. And like honestly, in some situations, it's hard not to see one side of it. You see, people go based on what they can see. And what they can physically see looks like it's reality, when in reality there is more to it. There's often more to it, and they're just saying that you need to step back and take a look from a higher perspective, even take a break from it, because you're not seeing things clearly. And it could have been your past situation in life. Okay, you have had people cheat on you before, and there is an ex who is stalking your partner. Okay, and they're telling your partner that you've been hooking up with them. It's not true, but to your partner, if they're living in their own bubble, and they might believe that. Okay, they're not basing it, or you might have trouble trusting that your partner will be faithful and not believe it. Okay, because you have, or your partner has had people cheat on them before, you're being presented with information. It looks like it's really happening, when in fact it could just be a jealous stalker ex. Okay, so I'm just saying, we see and we feel based on what has happened to us, and that's the last thing we need to do. Oh, great, take allegations of obviously cheating and hooking up seriously, but it's not always what it looks like. Okay, for instance, a person might have a picture because they dated that person, and they might be showing you a picture, but it's an older picture. Hard to tell in that type of a situation, but the situation that you're in is not as what it seems, and I feel like due to some, this has happened before, I'm not going through this again. I feel like you just kind of put up that wall, and you're like, this is what I see. I can only go by what I see. Unfortunately, in some situations, especially on the internet where people's photos can be stolen, you just can't. Some things may never be proven. And if you didn't physically prove it, if it cannot be proven, then I guess you have to wait the situation out, pray about it, and see what's going on. But try not to say, well, I see it right here. I mean, if you didn't physically see your partner cheat and it's just a picture on the internet, gosh, we've all done it. We've all sent pictures to our current or past relationships, and who knows? I've had situations where, like, those people keep those pictures and they don't want to lose you. They think they're going to get you back, or they're going to ruin you with those pictures. So think about that. Nothing is ever truly deleted on the internet. Nothing is truly ever deleted from your phone, from your computer. The world of technology is a double-edged sword. It can be used to build, and it can be used to destroy. I mean, phones are even getting hacked now. iPhones are getting hacked. So, nobody's safe. Why would a stranger torture you? For the fun of it. That's what they do. There's a lot of crazy people on the internet who think it's fun to sit behind their computer and be bullies. They don't even have to know you to do it. I know somebody who would go online when he got home from work and torture guys who were looking for dates. Anyway, so I just wanted to make you aware that step outside of your bubble. Try to think of and find the higher perspective in this. Try to see the big picture. There's something you're thinking about based on your own perception of things. And there's a lot more to it than you know. All right. So the next we're going to have is the red jasper card. The red jasper, if you chose the red jasper's up next. Hi friends who chose the red jasper. Your card number is, I don't know if I said it or not, but your card number is 25. It was on page 63 because you chose the red jasper. And this is the card of resistance. It says, you are in resistance. You're not admitting that a tug of war is occurring within you or a tug of war is occurring between yourself and someone else. To understand resistance perfectly, I want you to imagine a stream in a fast-moving current. In this current, there's a boat. The boat has 6 oarsmen in it, and 3 of them are paddling upstream, and 3 of them are paddling downstream. The oarsmen that are paddling the boat upstream are in resistance, as well as the ones they're paddling against each other. Resistance is nothing more than opposition. It is any oppositional force, including yourself. We have a resistance to change. That's the biggest one. We have a resistance usually to change because of an emotion like fear. We have a resistance because we don't want to start over again. We have resistance because we've been through that, don't want to go there again. All kind of resistance. What it's just asking you to do is figure out what you're resisting. Figure out the reason why. Area 51 video in 2 questions. You can figure out the core issue because there's always a surface issue, but the core issue. And you can keep going until you feel like you have that aha moment. Okay, take a look at that video. It's extremely accurate. It's annoying though because then I gotta face stuff when I do that. So figure out what it is and try to help yourself. Find ways to let go of the resistance. Okay, what is causing the resistance? Is it a toxic relationship you're currently in and you're resisting moving forward with that person? Are you resisting breaking up with that person? Why? Are you afraid you'll be alone? Have you just broken up with someone and you're going out with people and you're not ready? Because why? Why are you doing that? Okay. But anything you meet with resistance or fear or pain is basically resistance. So think about that. And that is it for today, guys. Like I said, don't encourage anybody to do these videos unless they are ready. The pick a card blind spots are very blunt, and I try to make them as gentle as I can, but sometimes it's really hard facing things we don't want to. You have to really be ready, and you have to really take the time. Even if it doesn't make sense to you now, if you sit and think about it, it may make sense later. Please like, subscribe, and share. Love you guys, and I hope this blind spot pick a card really helped you guys out. Thanks. Let me know in the comments. Bye.